Hi, it's Joan with iLoveRVlife. We're getting ready to take off on yet another adventure, and I thought you might like to know just how we make our fifth wheel like home.
All right, when we first get to the campground, it looks something like this. Joan, let's go ahead and get our slides out. And you can see here on this side, this is what it looks like with the slides in. This is both slides. We've got one in the bedroom and one on the inside. Good news is it's manageable. We can actually come in here when we're, pull over at a rest stop and we want something to eat. And we can come over here by the couch and we can, have a place to sit and have lunch. We've actually got, a spot here at the counter that, we can make our lunch if we want to do a sandwich or something like that. The other biggie is we can gain access to our refrigerator. Now, we don't have a generator, so we can't run the microwave, so we are eating cold lunches, but no big deal. And then another big benefit when we travel, and Joan, right here where Joan's at, we have access to the bathroom. Now this is a biggie as we start these slide outs, is not having access to your bathroom. So in travel mode, that door is closed and we'll open it up and then we've got full access to the bathroom, to do all necessary bathroom things. That's a benefit, isn't it, hon?
Oh, yeah.
And it's really nice to be able to have that. Okay, I'm going to get our big slides out here. So let's go ahead and do this, and I won't do this in real time. It takes just a minute. Now this is what we call the heavy slide. This has, the stove, the refrigerator, those types of things. We'll kind of go over some things. You're going to see travel mode here. And this is going to change really, really quick. So you see here, we're still kind of what we call travel mode. We still have everything kind of strapped down. These straps did come with the Gateway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the camera aside. Joan, what do you think it takes us to get out of travel mode? Maybe 10 minutes maybe to get everything set up?
Maybe a little bit more because you are outside setting up and I'm inside setting up, so maybe about 15 to 20 minutes.
15 to 20 minutes, that includes, water, sewer, those types of things. All right, let's take it out of travel mode, okay? Okay, so we're in travel mode right now, and this is just everything just kind of strapped down, but it just takes a minute, and sometimes Joan and I just kind of jump into this together and knock it out really quick. So, Joan, why don't you go ahead and get us started? We've got these straps that kind of holds everything down. You just kind of pop them loose. No big deal. I'm going to talk to you about the furniture too, because we made some changes. We'll talk a little bit about the mods of what we've done to make travel life a little bit easier, a little bit more comfortable. One thing, we don't have a ceiling fan here. So we just bought one of these inexpensive, what are those called? Lascos, the little rotating fan. So that's kind of nice to have that. Blows just, you need a little air movement. As I talk about the furniture upgrades, this was one of the first things that we purchased was this Ottoman. So this Ottoman here is a really nice little addition. It kind of serves two purposes, both this and this is where we keep things like our winter items, but also part of travel mode. You'll see we have lamps. Joan, why do you have lamps?
Oh, I like the indirect light, not the overhead light.
Yeah, this is one of those things where we wanted it to feel kind of like home, isn't it, hon?
Oh, yeah.
And, this is another one of those things of a 10 to 15 minute setup, and to be able to have this setup to make it feel like home is a big deal.
Yeah. Lampshades are kept upstairs and I have to run up there and get those.
Yeah, we don't try, as you can see, look, this is one of the early purchases that we made too, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
We did this like year one. And this is, kind of like Joan's decorating stuff. You'll see these straps here that we have. They just literally pop up out of the floor. You can just kind of toss them back in the back. I'll kind of we've got pantry. We'll show you more. Little couple dollar stool from Walmart. Desk chair that we have here. Joan, let me get these chairs. Now, we'll talk a little bit about furniture, because the furniture that you're seeing here did not come with this fifth wheel. This is another element that I'll show you here. Again, Joan and her decorating. We want that home feel. This is our home. Now, we are not full-timers. We call ourselves long-timers. We might go out a short trip for 2 weeks. Those are rare, but a lot of times we go out for a month and a half to 3 months. It just depends on what's going on.
And where we're going.
Like we've got an almost 2-month trip here scheduled. And I know this looks kind of squirrely. Joan's going to grab the lampshades. We'll put those on in just a second. But I do want to talk about the furniture that you see here. Let me first put this up. This is a picture of the RV when we bought this Labor Day weekend of 2014. Now you'll notice over here on the big slide what I call plastic furniture. They call it leatherette. It's a plastic. It doesn't hold up, and I must admit to you, we hated that sofa, didn't we, Joan?
Oh yeah.
And it was just not comfortable at all. So the sofa that you see here was one of our first replacements as we were making some mods. And Joan, we probably looked for what, 6 months?
Oh, at least 6 months.
And the problem was finding something that, here was the challenge. We had to get through this door, and this door is 29 inches wide. So, believe it or not, Joan, kind of pull one of those pillows off the back. This is the key thing about this sofa. This is not an RV sofa. This is what they call an apartment style sofa, and it was designed to be able to get, like in tight stairs or through narrow doors at a apartment or something like that. So these pillows come off. But this sofa was bought in 2015, I believe. I believe it was 2015. It took us about a year to find it. And, it was literally, we measured from side to side to find something that would fit. This also is a queen sleeper. We didn't have a sleeper here. We're getting ready to replace that mattress. And then that and the Ottoman provides a very, very nice environment. So the decor that you see here is pretty similar to what we first started off with. Curtains, Joan, do they bug you?
No, we kept the curtains. I enjoy the curtains. And the shades.
Yeah, those are, I think they call them sail shades. Mm-hmm. And we kept those. And yeah, some people, that's one of the biggest complaints that you hear, like if you watch the RV show on TV. Oh my gosh, it's dark. We don't mind the wood tones, do we?
Mm-mm. No, because we throw the shades up most of the time. And we have plenty of light in here. We store our shades upstairs so that they don't get messed up. And so I bring those down and get those set up.
And that's another part of just like the 15-minute setup. Again, we're looking at the sofa here. We talked about that. The other thing I want to share is Joan puts these shades up. If you'll notice, we've got these Euro recliners. They're not my favorites. If I was to buy Euro recliners again, I'd have the ones with the self-contained footrest. These have the, the little stool. But, when we travel, we flip them up like that. So it's not a big deal when we travel. The only thing that I don't like about them is when we're here in the camper and no one's sitting in the chairs are kind of in the way. It's not a big deal, it's not monumental. But here's the reason I bought these. First of all, it kind of matches the decor when Joan and I were looking for them. These came from Wayfair. These again are not a RV type furniture, but the reason I bought these is I got these things, I think they were on a closeout sale, and I bought both of these for $350 brand new. We've been using them 5 years. They're absolutely fantastic. And before we go into the kitchen, one more comment. Here again, I'll put a video up here at the top where you can see where we did the customized desk. We're very casual in how we dine. The losing the dinette was a small sacrifice to give me an office because I work on the road. So that was very, very important. Again, when you look from a space-saving perspective, we've just got tons of room here. So when you look at this and we bought it, we wanted to make sure we were going to be comfortable, didn't
Absolutely.
we? Yeah. And, you know, we were looking for really what I call a couples coach. So we wanted a, big seating area, big cooking area. The bedroom, we wanted comfort, but it didn't have to be massive. And that's kind of like what we found. And Joan also wanted a tub in the bathroom, and that kind of made some challenges, but Heartland Gateways was the only one that we found with a tub, and it has a real tub in it. So, all that being said, how big is it? Well, it's roughly about 300 square feet. We kind of refer to it as our apartment we drag behind a truck, and that's kind of like what it is. Now, let's look at this from this perspective. As you look here, we have tons of cabinet space. I mean, we are nowhere short on cabinet space. So I kind of call that Jones cabinets. And then up here we have everything from electronics. Down below we have various items. We do carry a Mr. Buddy heater with you. These are my cabinets. I keep things like hiking gear and things like that. You can see my pack. There's my hiking pack, and then I have a few little things over here. But this is Joan's sacred place.
This is where I keep all my Daniel Steele books, because when we're traveling, it gives me a lot of room to just read. I love to just read, and so I keep all my up-to-date Daniel Steele books up there. This is just a little storage place. In fact, I think I've got my journal. I have my journal up there so that I can keep up with our trip.
When we talk about space, Joan and I have a term. One of the things that you'll notice in here, we're not clutter bugs. And I understand, lots of people, when they travel, and especially if you downsize, you need space and you want to keep certain mementos. It's not that we don't have certain mementos, like Joan's favorite thing. We've got these small items, like Joan saying, here in the South, we don't hide crazy. We parade it on the front porch and give it some sweet tea. So that's a Joanism that we have here. But one of the things that you'll notice is there's not a lot of clutter. And really, this is the way it is all the time. Again, we're not neat freaks about it by any stretch of the imagination. Just little simple things like when Joan sits right here, or, this is Joan's space right over here. And then when she goes up here, when we get set up, she has a little thing that she sets here on the, on the Ottoman. That's for her glass. It becomes her end table as well. And, she's got her pens and pencils and, those types of things that she uses to set up. So we talked about remodeling and leaving some of the decor as it is. We haven't painted anything. We haven't changed out any of the drapery. But we have made some substantial changes. I mentioned taking the dinette out and putting our desk in. But this area right here is probably the largest area that we made some substantial changes. Here, let me put a picture up when we first bought this in 2014. And you can see how this crazy island was. Joan, you hated that island, didn't you?
Yeah, I didn't like it because you had to get up and walk all the way around to get into the kitchen to get anything. So when we did the remodel on this, he took that space out so that we could just get up and walk through.
And I'm going to there's actually an 8-part video series. I know it's long, but I go into some substantial detail of how this whole area here was changed. Again, Joan talked about this island actually went inside where those cabinets are located, and I actually was able, if you'll notice, this all looks factory here, and you can watch those videos if you want to see how I did it. I was able to salvage all the wood. This countertop is different. We put in a real sink, and you know, we treat it like home, and you know, it's a very deep 10-inch sink, so you can actually wash pots and pans in it and not, you know, hose the floor down. We put a kitchen style, you know, off of Amazon, a faucet that was here. But this, again, this is travel mode. This made so much more difference. This thing was cut at an angle, so we lost part of our cabinet space. That door here was, it's kind of bizarre, was located here on the outside, again at an angle, and didn't give us much space.
This is not the original refrigerator, but it is a regular home refrigerator. It's not a camper refrigerator. When we wore the first one out, we went to Home Depot, I think, and purchased this, which is another home refrigerator, not a camper refrigerator. We love it because of the space it adds, and have a good freezer down here, and it was just as easy to put this one in as, you know, as it would have been to put a camper refrigerator in. They're so much smaller.
Joe's talking about this refrigerator that we have here. This, you know, is what they call a residential refrigerator, as she was talking about, what you would see in a home. It took us a while to find one that would fit. I did not want to do a lot of carpentry over here to make this one fit. As you see here, it was a perfect slide in. I think this refrigerator was maybe a half an inch smaller. This is an LG. It's European style. I think they call them inverter compressors. I'll put a picture up. I actually built a custom box and put some golf cart batteries in here, and this runs off of an inverter. And Joan, we can travel all day long, and we don't have any problems with this thing running and staying cold.
No, not at all. And if you'll notice, everywhere we go, we try to get a magnet and decorate. That's part of our interior decoration.
Yeah, and you can see we got magnets and grandbabies and everything else. We need to update the grandbaby pictures, real bad. And we're going to do that here soon. But you can see our magnets that we put on. Sometimes we remember to get them, and sometimes we don't. And then over here where Joan's standing, you'll see we call this the coffee bar. And you know, we put our coffee makers, toasters, and I'm not going to get it out right now. It's a little heavier, and I have to slide things around. But we've got an Iglo ice maker that Joan just absolutely loves, and we put that on there as well. One of the things I also want to talk to you about, mods. I guess we've done a handful. Some were a little bit more extensive than other. We didn't paint, we didn't wallpaper, we didn't do that. But we, you know, aside from furniture, aside from the desk, one of the simple things that we did was this little backsplash area. This is that peel and stick backsplash. This thing had a terrible half of a backsplash, and we wanted to finish that. So that was something that took $20, and we liked that. The next item that I want to show you is, you see that little dark spot right there? That goes what we refer to as the kitty ensuite. And before that, we came up here into the bathroom, and right behind the sink right there, we put the litter pan. And that was a disaster. It was just litter everywhere. It was uncomfortable for the kitties. It wasn't good for us. And here, I'll take you outside and show you how that works. This is what I created here. This was space here behind the steps that were just absolutely lost space. And I kind of created a little custom track, cut a hole out, but built a plywood box in here for the kitty pan. Now, I've taken the kitty pan out for obvious reasons, but I'll show you that as we go inside here. But this just slides open like so. And now I have full access to be able to, you know, take the pan out and clean it from outside and not, you know, drag a lot of litter all through the camper. I keep a little shop vac here, a little cheap $59 shop vac, you know, just to clean up the litter that's inside here. Now, what I use right inside here, I use one of those aluminum turkey baster pans. I designed this to fit that. And that way we can use it for about 2 weeks or so, empty the litter, throw it away, put another one in. You know, they're just a couple dollars. And then you'll also notice for Mink and Molly, you know, we have a little LED light in here for them But the biggie here is this little computer fan. It's a little small computer fan, and it just draws the air out. So any scent that builds in, even though we put one of these little inexpensive citrus odor eaters in here, which helps a lot. But that fan creates, I put a little hose on it, and I'll show you where I ducted it to the other side, and that really helps keep any kitty odor outside. So we take that, empty out the pan. You just kind of wipe the sides down with a Lysol wrap. You don't want to use anything with Clorox with urine in case there's any overspray. And that just provides a super spot for Mink and Molly. Joan and I like it too, because it keeps the mess down to a bare minimum, and it makes it easy to empty too. That was a game changer.
I'm a woman, and I definitely love a long hot bath, and this one has the tub in it. So sometimes Jerry misses me for a couple hours, and then I come out all cleaned up. This bathroom has a lot of good storage, and we really love that. Here we have like medicines and hair products and paper items, and then over here we use this for towels. We always keep a jug of water just in case the water goes off. So this is.
So Joan talked about travel mode, and then she talked about once we get here, when she talked about we keep a jug of water. Okay, we do not travel with our water full. What we do is, like, if we need water while we're on the road, in the refrigerator we'll keep bottled water, those types of things, but we also keep a gallon of water up here. And I learned this from a guy who had been in RV travel for something like 20 plus years, and I go, gosh, we're carrying 20 gallons of water, 10 gallons of water, that's 8.7 pounds a gallon. And he said, no, not me. I'm not carrying all that weight. What do? I carry a gallon jug. I know this sounds crazy, but it works. So we take that gallon jug. If we have to pull over while we're traveling and use the facilities for whichever we have to use, then to flush, we just take that gallon of water, put a little water in there, hit the flush handle, put a little bit more to rinse it, and we're done. So these toilets that you find inside of an RV are so efficient. They use such a very little amount of water. That gets us from point A to point B. And I mean, even on a 6-hour trip, if we were to make 2 stops, which we rarely do, but if we were to make 2 stops, we might use a quart of water, half a gallon of water at the most. Let's go back here in the bedroom, and then we'll show you that as well. All right, we're going to go into the bedroom. Again, continuing our 15-minute setup. We'll show you more about why we have a folding chair up here in just a second. Another spot for Joan. But I'm going to put a video up here in the top that shows when I put in this fan. If you'll notice, there's very little headspace, what, maybe 6 inches? So we can't put a ceiling fan up here. So this is the fan that we put in. Boy, this thing is just awesome. And you can see this bedroom is a bit, it's small, but again, it's for a little bit. It's not an entertainment space. It doesn't matter. This bed here, this is the new bedding that we put in from Brooklyn Bedding. It is incredible. Here, I'll put a link up where we installed that in case you're interested in purchasing one of these. It's a phenomenal bed, just absolutely phenomenal. And of course, it has Joan's touch. We got rid of all the old crummy, awful looking bedspreads that come from the factory. I know it has a purpose for selling, but they're not comfortable and they're stiff. And this is, and we have a summer quilt, we have a winter quilt, those types of things. So let's talk about 2 mods. Back behind Joan, you'll see, we've got mirrors for dressing. And then that's also, I won't call it a walk-in closet, but Joan, we can be out for 3 and 4 months at a time, can't we?
And not use all the clothes we put in it.
I know. That is an issue. Now, one of the things that you'll notice here, this is a very basic mod. You'll notice that back on the back, we have Blackout style pull-down shades. These are, this is a Lowe's type thing. They're very, very inexpensive. I did not like the sale style here because in the morning, if you're either on this side or this side for the sunrise, boom, the first thing that happens around 6 o'clock in the morning is the sun comes up and smacks you in the face. And so we put those in, and that was just a very simple thing. As we continue our bedroom, If you look over here, this is where we're talking about it's not really a walk-in closet, but it's a pretty good sized closet. But look over here. We haven't talked about what's behind this door. What's behind there, Joan?
Well, originally it was the door for the washer and dryer, but most of the campgrounds that we go into have very good washer dryer facilities, so we use those. And to have this extra space, Jerry decided to make me a makeup area. And if you'll see, he's got me a shelf for things that I need to put up there. But this is where I put my makeup on. That's why we have the chair here. He has made me all of the different areas to put hair bows, brushes and combs, medicines, whatever I need to store is there.
So there's a couple things here that I'll show you. If you can kind of see right back here, this is, one of those multiple outlet plugs. Fortunately, this was a 20 amp circuit, for a washer and dryer, so it can handle, blow dryers, hair dryers, all those types of things. And we're hooked up to the, the facilities, the electrical at a campground. Joan didn't show you the drawer here. There's actually a drawer that I put in here as well, where she can keep things like, contact lenses and things like that. And then as you look down toward the bottom, this is our laundry facility as well. And then this chair actually came with our dinette. It's a very comfortable chair, and it stays folded up here out of the way when we can walk around it, and whenever she's doing drying hair, putting makeup on, those types of things. This is Joni's space. It's really nice for Joan to be able to have, a ladies spot. Because a lot of times what people end up doing is going down to the dinette or something like that. And, she can keep everything set up here. She don't have to carry all of her, all of her cosmetics around in a box and those types of things. This is her spot. It's home. And that's what we have worked hard to do, is make this, even though we're not full-timers, months on the road, it's home, and we treat it like so.
We do. Yeah, we enjoy coming in to what we have set up as our living area when we're on the road, and we are on the road quite a bit.
We hope you enjoyed our quick tour from the fifth wheel. We wanted to take you through and just showing 10-15 minutes we're set up, and just kind of give you an idea of what the feel of life in a fifth wheel is when you're traveling. So yeah, it's kind of closed in, but we have access to seats and kitchen and refrigerator, and that's important. We have access to bathroom, and really if we did an overnight stop somewhere, which we don't do the Walmart thing, but if we had to, we could even get into the bedroom, but we don't do that. And then we just wanted to kind of open up our fifth wheel and just show you what life is for Jerry and Joan inside our Gateway. Yeah, we have made some changes, furniture changes, desk changes, substantial kitchen changes. Yeah, and even the kitty ensuite. And let's don't forget Joan's
makeup area.
So we just really wanted to bring you along and just show you, what life is like in the fifth wheel with Jerry and Joan. Hope you enjoyed it. And why do we do it?
We do it because we love RV life. Hope to see you soon.
Hope to see you soon.